This is James Luxon for Round 8 Boxing. Delighted to be joined with Archie Sharp. Archie, how are you, mate?
Very well, thank you, my friend. How are you?
Yeah, very good. Thanks, mate. Thanks for joining me again. Um,
Thanks for having me on.
no, any time. Let's go back to your last fight first of all, Arch. Obviously, your first defeat as a professional. Talk to me about the emotions you felt after that fight.
Bad, bad. Hurts, man. It hurts. It hurts to this day. It hurts to this day. Yeah, it's a horrible, horrible feeling. But like sometimes in life you need things to kind of wake you up a little bit. And unfortunately, I wasn't listening to the little signs that was going on, and I had to pick up at the feet to kind of correct a lot of things. Um, So yeah, we are where we are. In the long term, it will do me. It's well, we'll soon find out with the Maxi fight. I'm sure that loss has definitely done. It's improved Archie Sharp, if I'm honest. But yeah, on it, no matter what, no matter how much improvement it's done to me, or whether it hasn't or hasn't, but it has hurt, very much hurt me. I'm still sickening to lose your own. And especially to a fight where, like, no disrespect to Ryan, I genuinely believe I can beat Ryan Garner. I genuinely believe I've got all the tools and all the ability to beat Ryan Garner. It's just that I beat myself that night and unfortunately played out how it played out.
You mentioned that you see a few signs, and obviously hindsight's a great thing. You can see it easily after it's happened. But do you mind sharing what those little signs were?
Look, my main thing was the weight. Um, Back in May, I got caught. I know it was like people can say what it was. I got caught complacent, got caught cold, wherever it was. But I feel like me keep getting down to that weight. I wasn't the same fighter. Obviously in May I got caught in the first round, first time I ever touched the canvas, and then the next fight I get defeat. So there's the little signs there that I'm looking at. Um, and my whole training system was kind of a mess. My life was a mess. I set up a new a new company, a new business, which kind of I put a lot more time and effort into that when I've got one of the biggest fights of arguably of my career coming up against Ryan Garner. And I spent most of the time doing a business, running a company, like sending invoices on the day of the weigh-in and things like that before box Ryan, Just things that I'd never do before ever. Um, so trainers was a bit of a mess as well. I had Roy, I had Richard, Ian, Lee Wilkins. Yeah, so it was a lot going on. Yeah, I've put it all right. And I'll tell you the truth as well, I got complacent. I felt like, oh yeah, do you know what, I've done pretty decent. Not that I completely got my goals, I always wanted to be a world champion, but the hunger wasn't there as much as what it should have been. And yeah, but right now I've sacked off the company, I've sacked off a lot of things and got me head down and just cracking on with it.
Do you think you overlooked Ryan Garner because obviously you was talking about Shakur Stevenson's, Oscar Valdez's, etc., and then you're fighting Ryan Garner. Do you think you overlooked him a little bit, especially with starting a business and focusing on other things, maybe?
Yeah, I think, do you know what it is? Like I said, I generally believe I can beat Ryan. I've got all the attributes to beat Ryan with my foot movement, skill set, and stuff. But I just couldn't beat him at 130 as well. It's as simple as that. I just couldn't beat him at 130. I'm not a 130 fighter anymore. Um, I've outstayed welcome at that weight. And things happen for a reason. If I beat Ryan that night, I'd have been getting a call for myself for fighting for the EBU back in March to do 130 again, and there was no way I'm doing it. Especially getting to it was one thing, but trying to perform at it is another. And I kind of had like three or four rounds in me with the Ghana fight. Obviously, my cuts didn't help. But yeah, the engine levels was zapped out of me by halfway through the fight.
Talked about the stuff that the fans don't see. So behind the scenes, in terms of nutrition, in terms of making weight, you say obviously it's a struggle to get down to 130. What did you have to put yourself through and your body through to get to 130?
Look, I've got a very good nutritionist, and on paper, we probably could make 130. Like, obviously, that's why we done it because we felt that we could do it. But I think I'm 30 now. I was 30 last week. So when I was gone, I'm 29 years of age. I've been doing campaigning at 130 since I turned pro when I was 20. It's 10 years nearly. you know, it's a long time, and my body's grown. I look at videos and pictures from when I boxed Deco. Like 2019 was my really good like kind of kick on. I beat Woodstock at back end of 18, and then had some good fights, Deco and Ram Labs and a couple other good fights. And the shape and the size, it was all completely different. And then when I look at myself trying now, trying to make that same weight 10 many years ago, I was fooling myself. Like my wife, everyone around me was saying to me like, "Oh, you don't look great at the weight." Like, no, no, I'll be all right, mate. The computer says I can make the weight. But like I say, it's just a difference between doing it um and competing, especially for our fight. You know, I'm a very like my feet work. I'm very unorthodox and I'm a busy fighter. So you need good stamina, good engine, good tank to get through them rounds.
Absolutely. Is it a case of listening to your body rather than what the computer says so you can make?
I believe so. Yeah, I believe so. I think things are getting too scientific. It's the same with strength and conditioning, the same with a lot of things. Like, to be fair, I haven't really done much strength and conditioning before this camp. I've just gone back to old school stuff with me and Richard. I feel good for it. Just come back now, about an hour ago from a good 10 rounds this evening with down at the eye box. So yeah, I think you just got to listen to your body, and that is it. You just got to be clever with it. Why is like you hear a lot of these great longevity fighters like Mayweather's and Canelo and all of this, and they do talk a lot about training smart, and that's definitely what I've learned. And trying to get myself down to stupid weights. It's a happy fight is a dangerous fight at the end of the day, and I just wasn't happy at 130.
Talked about the trainer situation. You mentioned obviously in the last fight you sort of had a share between four trainers. Obviously, Roy's based out in America. He doesn't come over all the time, so he probably came over for parts of your camp, not a full camp sometimes. You mentioned there Richard, your amateur coach, Richard Sawyer. Are you back with Richard full time now? Is it just Richard in the corner? What's the situation there?
Yeah, so look, Ian Weaver's a good friend of mine. So Ian's always going to be part of the team, part of the camp. And he's got like unbelievable amount of knowledge in the boxing game. So it's like it's a credit to have him in the corner. So he'd always be part of the team, always. Um, but myself, with Roy, for example, Roy, a good friend of mine, we were at dinner the other day. He's just a very busy man, and he's very busy. I know he says about going out to America, but he's here, there, and everywhere himself. So, so it's a bit hard there. But me and Richard, it's not always about what people can kind of teach you. If you know, if I make sense, it's a bit of an odd one to explain. But Richard knows me very well. He's trained me since age 7. He knows what gets me like in the best shape. He knows what I need to get in the best shape. He knows how to kind of liven me up if I'm in the corner to get like with a deco fight. Archie, you're 3, 4 rounds down here, mate. You got to cut. You need to liven yourself up. Like, and he got that where I had to push on and boom, we get the knockout win. So Richard gets the best out of me, and then we brought John Cole in as well. Who John Cole was part? Well, he was part of the Elton days when I was 7 years old. There's videos of him patting me when I was 7 years old, so he was part of it. Just we've just gone very much old school and what works best for myself. And then I got my new mind coach as well. Everyone knows I'm always big at talking about. I was using Linda Keane before, who was my mind coach, and I kind of neglected it a bit, thinking reading a few books and listening to a few podcasts was good enough to kind of tick me over the last few years. But it wasn't. So now I've got my new mind coaching, and it all seems to be going really well, really for the Maxi fight.
Talked about the mind coach. I know a lot of fighters use mind coaches these days for all different reasons, whether it be from, manifestation, from visualizing down to breath work. What is it for you in terms of the mind coach that helps you, and what do you use them for?
Yeah, so I think it's just to kind of center myself on what I do best. You know, like I've got good ability. I'm a great fighter, and I've always said I can beat these big names. Like, I generally know what I can do. It's just sometimes you lose your edge, you overthink. Sometimes you can question yourself. Like, do you know what I mean? There's a lot. Obviously, I've got 4 kids as well. Got 4 kids. I'm in a busy household, um, and I'm always a go getter. Like, I can't just sit still. I'm a go getter. So that's why I'm setting companies up. I kind of distracting myself. So for me, it's just about getting myself back to that tunnel vision. You know, getting myself back to that tunnel vision, and myself and not worrying about anyone else. Like, I'm not really worried about Maxi Hughes. I haven't really. I've watched a lot of Maxi's fights because I've been a fan of Maxi. So I don't really need to watch it. I'm not sitting there studying. I'm just getting myself in the best position, best shape I can get myself in, and I believe that beats Maxi.
You mentioned obviously a fan of Maxi, watched a lot of Maxi fights. He is a fan-friendly fighter. He's a British boxing fan favorite. For you, did you ever think your paths would cross?
No, do you know what? I never to be. Well, I say that because I was so focused on the super featherweight division. Like my plans I had was to win a belt of super featherweight and then just jump straight up to lightweight. So obviously it was always them big names was was kind of in my head. But when the Maxi fight got like put to me, I didn't. There was no hesitation. Like I know Maxi's a good fighter. I know how good he is, but I also know how good I am, and I know that I need these fighters to bring the best Archie Sharp out there. And I think so. Yeah, I'm glad the paths have crossed, and he's highly ranked in the WBA. You know, there's a WBC silver belt on the line, which puts us, I believe, in the top five or at least top 10 in the BC. And as everyone knows, I've got that little thing there with Shakur Stevenson. So maybe it never happened at 130, but it happened at 135 now.
Do you think this fight with Maxi, obviously it's a highly competitive fight, this is the right fight for you to come back into rather than take a little tick over fight just to get yourself back to winning ways? Why did you want to go back in at the deep end almost?
Yeah, I don't need them tick over fights. Like they're no good to me. Like you see that in May, what happens? I switch off and it just they ain't no good to me. I need to be in big fights. I need to be in competitive fights, and I need to be where people are in front of me. Like at the time, taking the Ryan Garner fight as well. Ryan, you could say I was in front of Ryan. I know I had a lot of inactivity, but I was number one for 2 years in the WBO, and then obviously I dropped recently because of inactivity, but I was still highly ranked in the BO. So you could argue that I was in front of Ryan, and taking that fight kind of didn't cite me up as like the Maxi fight. Maxi's in front of me, number four in the BA. He's number two in Britain. Like he's probably most avoided lightweight there is at the minute in the British. I feel like he beat Kambosos. He's at that level where I want to be and beyond. So this is perfect for me. Like this is great.
Having that opponent who's in front, as you say there in Maxi, does that excite you? And is this the most motivated you've been for a fight in your career?
I like to believe so. Yeah, I definitely believe it's the most excited I've been for a fight. Most driven, head focused. Yeah, I feel like I'm doing it. I've always been dedicated to the sport. I've always done things correctly, but I mean, I kind of allowed my talent just to get me through all the time. And now I'm doing things a lot different to or I'm doing what an elite level fighter should be doing now. You know, like I'm on my recovery more. I'm doing many more spars than usual that I've ever done in any camp before. Um, so yeah, like I said, that loss is sickening and it hurts me. And the thought of it when I tell people, like, I'm always saying I'm unbeaten, you know, like 25 and 0, and now all of a sudden I'm 26 and 1, 25 and 1. Like it's a bit of a killer. But obviously, after the be 26 and 1 soon, um, once I beat Maxi. But yeah, it's a bit of a killer. But things happen for a reason, and it's given me that kick up the arse that I needed.
Last time we spoke was before the Ghana fight, and obviously you mentioned you got dropped by a lesser opponent first time you touched canvas, and you said to me at the time you felt that could have been a blessing in disguise. Do you think the Ryan Garner loss is actually the blessing in disguise?
That's what I'm saying to you. Like I said to you that that clip would be the blessing in disguise for me, yeah? So you would think that I'd have listened to that, yeah, take note of what I said and change things. But I didn't. I got all the way to the Ryan Garner things and things were worse. There was more messier. I trained well, got myself in great shape, but my head wasn't right. I'm saying I'm opening companies. At the time when I got that thing, I don't even think I had that company set up then. It was literally after that fight, I went to set a new company up, kicked on, and kind of prioritized that. So yeah, it could have been a blessing in disguise, but I didn't listen. So therefore, I had to pay the bigger consequence and the bigger price, which was losing to Ryan Garner.
Any message for Maxi Hughes?
Do you know what it is? I ain't got no hate for Maxi. There's no animosity there. He's a great geezer from what we've had these like conversations. Like I said, I've been a fan of him. He's a family man himself. Uh, and he's kind of been on the same sort of path like I've heard him say before about getting his name picked out of the hat. We've had to do it the hard way. I'm one of them fighters myself. You know, I've had to do it the hard way. I've had some bad luck in this sport. You know, um, but I just hope he's in good shape and he's ready. Obviously, I'm going to Alliance Den. I'm going to his hometown. Um, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, I've got myself in great shape, and whether they're overlooking me, I know obviously they're probably looking at me coming off the back of a loss. I don't know because I've heard and seen maybe a couple of things like probably half overlooking me a little bit, but is what it is. Hopefully, it does. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't bother me. I'm just going to be in the best shape I can be, and I'm preparing for the best Maxi Hughes there is.
And just finally, Archie, you mentioned earlier the WBC silver title on the line. And you mentioned earlier as well, of course, Stevenson, that could still be aligned and your paths could still cross. And it could be a case of it's meant to be at 135 rather than 130, like you say. Is that still the ultimate fight for you? Obviously, the world title is the ultimate goal for you, but Shakur, is he the ultimate opponent for yourself?
Yeah, so Shakur, like, I've always had a bee in my bonnet about beating Shakur because everyone was saying how good and great he is, and I believe I can beat him. So yeah, there's definitely that fight. But now the WBA that opens up now because once I beat Maxi, it puts me number four in the BA. You got Shakur fighting Sapida, so why not have a crack with Gervonta Davis? That's another one, you know. Like why not? This is why I'm in the game to test myself. I ain't scared of no man, so why not?
With these big names you mentioned, and obviously with Turkey Al Sheikh coming into the sport as well, is it an exciting time to be getting yourself this highly ranked again with Turkey's involvement now?
I think it's brilliant, especially for fighters like myself who don't shy away from a fight. So Turkey and whoever is involved in making deals, my team, my manager, and all that, they know if I got a phone call to fight these big names, there's no like, oh, no, I'm not ready, or do you know what I mean? I'm ready for these big fights. Like it's easy for me. You ring me up and say, "Do you want to fight Gervonta Davis?" No problem. We'll have to fight. Ring me to fight Shakur. No problem. We'll have to fight. So anyone at 135, it's as simple as that.
Absolutely. Arch, thank you very much for your time. Always a pleasure speaking to you. Best of luck for fight night.
Oh, God bless you, mate. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. Thank you.